All right, so now I'm ready to center drill, ream, and then tap the hole in this part. What I'm gonna do here, because I don't wanna drill a hole that's any deeper than it needs to be, is I'm gonna measure from the first full thread on my tap 1 inch back. I'm gonna make a little mark with my Sharpie, and then I'm gonna hold my drill up directly beside that, and I'm gonna transfer that line over to the drill, but I'm gonna give myself an extra 3/8 of an inch of full drill hole size, and that'll be for any chips that want to build up. So I really don't want to drill a 3-inch deep hole to tap a 1 inch worth of threads. So this is what I'm going to do, and it's going to keep me from bottoming the tap out. So if I hold my ruler up here and I say that little guy right there on this bottoming tap is a full thread, and then I make a mark there, that's approximately 1 inch, and then I'm going to go and hold my drill to where I have maybe even more than 3/8 of an inch, or right at it, then transfer that over, make my mark, then now when I hold those two up to each other, I can see that I'm not going to bottom my tap out in my part. Alright, so I'm going to center drill, ream, and then power tap. Alright, the hole has been blowing free of all chips. I got my reamer. Now I'm going to ream it until I lightly touch the bottom of the hole, and for ultimate accuracy that's not a good idea, but for what this part is I'm not concerned, and this is a manual machine and I'm not going to slam into the bottom of the hole. I'm going to kiss it and then back away. Half the speed, twice the feed. So I'm going to be looking around 220 RPMs on this lathe, and then well, I'm hand feeding it, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and countersink the entry of this hole, and I want my countersink to be slightly bigger than a 1-inch diameter. And it's going to go quick because we're at 15/16 right now. That's at a perfect inch. I'm gonna go just a little bit more. Yeah, probably about 1 and a 32nd. It's kind of hard to see. The camera is occupying the best real estate for operating a machine. Okay. Visually, I can see the hole is clean, free of chips. I can stick my ruler down, and I can see of actual full hole diameter, I have more than 1.5 inches, just slightly. And this line right here puts me at, let's say I went past the line a little bit, I'm at 1 1/4. So I would know I still had a 1/4 inch of allowable room for chips to build up. But this is not a spiral cut tap, so the chips are actually going to pile up in the flutes here. They're not going to eject out the bottom of the hole, or in this case, into the bottom of the hole. RPM will be set at around 100. Then I'm going to leave the tailstock floating, meaning I'm not going to clamp it down. So that way, if I over or under feed the tap, the tailstock can either push away from the part or will be pulled in. But I'm going to feel the tap cutting, and I will know if I'm cranking too fast without even visually seeing the tailstock moving. Just trust me, when you're doing it, you can tell. I'm never going to take my hand off the on-off lever or forward and reverse lever. I'm going to tap into the line, maybe slightly beyond, and then I'm going to go in reverse for at least, I don't know, let's say 5-10 rotations. But I like to just back the tap out by hand, at least when I'm advising a student that's new at this, because if you come out at the wrong tempo or pace, the chamfer or the lead of the tap can bore out the first few threads in your hole. So to prevent that, we're going to turn it out by hand, or I should say, actually unscrew the tap from the part. And I can stop the spindle and then restart it as I'm going. So that's deep enough. Now I'll reverse a few turns like I did. And now I'm going to lock the tailstock and then retract it away. So the tailstock is free. And then I can just use my tap holder, my Morse taper adapter, as a big handle to completely remove the tap. All right, now we're ready to do the part offer operation. I have positioned the tool to where I'm about a 32nd long on my part's overall length, which is good. I'm going to slide over the tailstock, and inside the drill chuck here, I have a piece of 1/4 inch aluminum. So I can tap that in there, and that's the bottom of the hole, and then I can back it off a turn, and now the part is going to be caught by the aluminum rod. I'm not trying to hold a Allen wrench and catch the part when it's freed from the stock. I'm going to come in, touch soft, and then I'm going to apply more force, and I just want to see a continuous flow of chips coming off that tool. Just like that. If I see good chip flow like that, I just keep up with the same feed force. do use cutting oil, even though most carbide operations I do not. I use it when I'm parting off. Right there. All right, so now it's ready to be counterbored in the back. You can see the tap where it did not go all the way through. It should be deep enough, but if it's not, after I counterbore into it, I will just tap it from the front of the part, and I'd hold it in a vise with some soft jaws.